This presentation provides a brief discussion about the significant role played by Father Thomas Meagher in the lives of the 7 Kolasa orphans after the death of their mother Anastasia in April 1925. The Kolasa siblings never knew the extent of Father Meagher's responsibilities in overseeing their upbringing, and probably never even knew his name. The information about the various ways Father Meagher was involved in their lives and the life of their father, Jozef Kolasa, was discovered only in the last few years. I think you will find the information about Father Meagher quite amazing. Introducing Father Thomas Meagher, Executive Director of the Catholic Welfare Association for the Archdiocese of St. Paul and Minneapolis, Minnesota. In his official capacity, Father Meagher had significant influence over the lives of my mom and her 6 siblings. He oversaw the operation of St. Joseph's German Catholic Orphan Asylum, where my mom and her 6 siblings were sent in April 1925 after the death of their mother and abandonment by their father. He also directed the operation of the Archdiocese foster care placement system, which placed my mom and her 6 siblings in their respective foster homes in 1930. And as the official guardian of my mom and her 6 siblings, he signed a permission form for my Uncle Joe, who was not yet 19, to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps in January 1942, 5 weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor. In addition to his official responsibilities, Father Meagher also volunteered in ways that had significant influence on the life of my grandfather, Jozef Kolasa, who had abandoned my mom and her 6 siblings in April 1925. Father Meagher's volunteer activities that touched the life of my ne'er-do-well grandfather were wonderfully captured in an article published in the February 16, 1947 edition of the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, which reads, "For 23 years, a Roman Catholic priest has been a daily attendant at the Minneapolis criminal court trials. He has been a friend in need to countless inmates of the city and county jails. Religion makes no difference to Father Meagher if a man is in trouble. Many non-Catholics attend the Mass he conducts every Sunday morning at the workhouse." The term workhouse was used to describe the minimum security jails during that time. The inmates worked clearing streets and city parks, etc. The article continues. The priest especially is interested in the drunkards, who appear time after time for the same offense. One of his police court acquaintances has spent more than 20 years in jail, yet has never been arrested for anything except drunkenness. This last comment of Father Meagher is a perfect description of my Skid Row bum grandfather, Jozef Kolasa. I do not use the term Skid Row bum in any kind of pejorative sense. It is simply a description of the life he lived in the terminology of his day. There is no way to know if Father Meagher was thinking of my grandfather when he made that statement to the reporter, but it fits my grandfather to a T. And the article concludes, despite his years of work in the jails, he has never become hardened to prison atmosphere. Those bars do something to you. That is why I am so insistent that judges have a heart. Father Meagher's dual roles in the lives of my mom and her siblings and the life of my grandfather bring up some interesting, unanswerable questions about how he navigated between his official duties and his volunteer activities. Did Father Meagher know that one of the men he would see time after time in court was the father of the 7 Kolasa orphans he had responsibility to care for at St. Joseph's Orphanage? Did he know that one of the men from whom he would hear confession grant forgiveness, and give Holy Communion to at Mass every Sunday at jail was a father of the 7 Kolasa orphans under his custody in a foster care system? Did he know that my Uncle Joe was the son of one of his police court acquaintances, who he would frequently see in court and at the workhouse as he signed my Uncle Joe's permission form to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps to fight in World War II? Did my grandfather ever reveal to Father Meagher that he had abandoned his 7 children in favor of the bottle during confession? A confidence that Father Meagher was duty-bound to keep when he was ordained. Did my grandfather know that the priest who had advocated for him in court heard his confessions, forgave his sins, and gave him Holy Communion at Sunday Mass at the jail was the same man who was overseeing the care of his 7 children whom he had abandoned in favor of the bottle? I wonder, did Father Meagher ever tell my grandfather anything about how the 7 children he had abandoned were doing at their respective foster homes? You could say this is just another episode in my family's Twilight Zone history, just like the old movie show. Father Meagher was also the celebrant in my grandfather's funeral mass at Holy Cross Church and burial at St. Anthony's Cemetery on June 19, 1953. In the photo on the left, we see Father Meagher leading the burial procession at St. Anthony's Cemetery. I presume the pallbearers carrying my grandfather to his final resting place are probably some of the men who lived with him at the rescue mission in downtown Minneapolis. The photo on the right shows Father Meagher conducting the burial ceremony. The young girl in the middle of the line of people on the left side of the photo is my cousin, Bernice Kolasa. She was the second daughter of my Uncle Stanley. Next to Bernice, in the nun's habit, is my Aunt Gladys, my mom's younger sister. She took the religious name Sister Corinne. Next to Gladys is Mary Dabrowski, my grandfather's sister. And the woman in the white hat and the striped dress is Leona Kolasa, wife of my Uncle Stanley. Quite a grand send-off for a Skid Row bum. Father Meagher, one of those very rare individuals who could look into the eyes of a man like my Skid Row bum grandfather, Jozef Kolasa, and see his soul and humanity. He lived his faith fully, 24/7, 365. The world could use a few more Father Meaghers.